2020 has been a really tough year for the entire world. We're dealing with global health situations which limit our movements and basically forces us to stay and work from home. This paralyzing effect has trickled down to the film and television industry. This is especially true of Stranger Things fans who now have to wait for who knows how long just to see an end to the story of the Hawkins kids, even after Netflix has released a teaser trailer for Season 4. Lucky for us, we still have options. If you're looking for shows that will provide the same thrill, fun, and excitement, look no further. Today, we'll be giving you a list of the best shows to watch while we all wait for Stranger Things Season 4. But first, a simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's all your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Let's start with a few offerings from Netflix itself. First, we have Dark. If you want to watch something that's pretty similar to Stranger Things, then there is no reason for you not to watch the German series Dark. A lot of people are comparing the relationship between the two shows to Star Wars and Star Trek. Dark and Stranger Things really do have a lot in common, including the fact that they are both about the investigation into the case of a missing child in a small town. But some even say that Dark is far better than Stranger Things. How could this be possible? Better watch to find out. Next is The Umbrella Academy. Another Netflix show that can act as a placeholder to Stranger Things is The Umbrella Academy. The comparison, though, isn't quite as similar. Stranger Things pays homage to everything related to the 80s, and it mixes in with its sci-fi realness, while The Umbrella Academy is straight out of a comic book titled Dark Horse Comics. It details a dysfunctional family of adopted sibling superheroes who had to band together to discover how their father died. Now, it might sound confusing as to why the two shows are being compared, so here's the reason. According to Jumpstart Analytics, The Umbrella Academy was able to surpass the record set by Season 1 of Stranger Things for most views in both its first week of airing and first month of airing. While Stranger Things Season 1 only got up to 8 million views in its first month of airing, The Umbrella Academy got over 9 million views. However, it looks like the second season of The Umbrella Academy is among the shows that got delayed due to the pandemic. So if you don't want to wait for a new season to come out, just like Stranger Things, then maybe this isn't for you. Watch at your own risk. Next, we have Riverdale. Just like Stranger Things, the Riverdale story tells all about the weird things that are happening to residents of a small town. However, Riverdale doesn't really have extra-dimensional monsters, only monsters living among them. If you're looking for thrills similar to the ones you experience watching Stranger Things, then Riverdale is for you. Bonus points for the rock-hard bod of KJ Apa and the irresistible looks of Cole Sprouse's character, Jughead Jones. Next is Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. If you're still hungry for more creepy mysteries getting solved by a bunch of teens, look no further because The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina has got you covered. This show is the story of Sabrina Spellman, a teenage girl who is trying to strike a balance between her high school life and her life as a teenage witch. Just like Stranger Things, almost all the mysterious things happen in a small town and follow our heroes everywhere they go. Next up, The Returned. I assure you that if you watch this French series, then you're in for a treat, especially if you've come to love the twists and turns of Stranger Things. The Returned narrates the story of a small town where its recently departed residents suddenly return to life. Of course, the living residents are happy to once again see their beloved relatives, but they know something seriously wrong is going on. The show actually had a few adaptations in English, but just bear with the subtitles. I promise it's better that way. Next, we have Black Mirror. If you're looking to feed your imagination and paranoia, look no further than Netflix's dystopian science fiction anthology, Black Mirror. It gives an eerily accurate description of what could possibly happen if our technological advancements take a turn for the worse. It's not straight-up horror, but the horrifying truth that it could possibly happen to us at any time is scary enough for even the bravest of adults. Here are a few more shows that you can watch while waiting for what's going to happen next to our beloved Hawkins residents. Next is Ozark. A lot of Ozark fans believe that Netflix is biased towards Stranger Things and that Ozark isn't marketed as much, which is why it's not as popular. But go ahead and give it a try. After all, it has a healthy amount of well-placed twists and flashbacks and is good enough to keep the audience hooked. Next we have Sense8. Sense8 is another sci-fi show about the minds of two brilliant siblings, but unlike a lot of series and movies that you'll get to know in a few seconds, Sense8 is pretty different from Stranger Things. Instead of focusing on one place, Sense8's setting is the entire world. It also talks about 8 people who are linked telepathically to one another, not like 11 who keeps that power to herself. Unfortunately, regardless of the good plot and amazing talent, Sense8 was already canceled by Netflix, citing a lack of significant viewership. Still, that should not prevent you from properly viewing the show. Next is Wayward Pines. For two people as brilliant as the Duffer brothers, it's not surprising to learn that Stranger Things isn't their only collaboration. They also did a few episodes for the Fox series Wayward Pines, a show that lasted for only 2 seasons. Wayward Pines is just another small-town mystery story that you could watch if you're hungry for that Stranger Things-like action. Then we have the OA. If you haven't heard about the release of Sense8, then it's highly likely that you have no idea that the OA even existed. But it's time that you watch it because it's very similar to the story of the Hawkins kids. The OA is about the story of Prairie Johnson, who returned to her family in a Michigan suburb after missing for 7 whole years. The peculiar thing is that Prairie was actually blind before going missing, but when she returned, her vision came back with her. If that's not strange enough for you, I really don't know what is. But if you aren't really looking to start watching any other TV series anytime soon, perhaps you can indulge in some movies that can give you almost the same kick or maybe even more when you watch Stranger Things. How about It Chapter 1? This movie possesses 3 important elements of Stranger Things. First, it's another 80s throwback. Second, it's creepy and scary. And third, Finn Wolfhard is in it. If that's not going to convince you enough, then I really don't know what will. Next is Godzilla, King of the Monsters. If you watched It just because of Finn Wolfhard, maybe you want to turn your attention to Godzilla, King of the Monsters because of Millie Bobby Brown. Granted, this one doesn't really have any connection to Stranger Things aside from Eleven herself, but it's still worth watching because of Millie's superb performance. After that, we have Firestarter. Only a true and diehard Stranger Things fan would know that the Netflix show paid homage to Stephen King's sci-fi horror film, The Firestarter, using the show's poster featuring Eleven. When you look at it side by side, that poster looks pretty dang close to the movie poster for Firestarter, with a young Drew Barrymore looking straight into the camera. It's pretty obvious that the Duffer brothers were heavily influenced by King and his material, and therefore it's just right to watch the movie that the Duffer brothers have endorsed in every way without actually saying it. Next is The Goonies. While the Duffer brothers were inspired by the work of Stephen King, they admitted that Stranger Things is actually loosely based on The Goonies. The Goonies is a story about a band of misfits who discovered a map that serves as a catalyst for an adventure to unearth the fortune of a 17th century pirate named One-Eyed Willie. But while on their quest, they come across a bigger problem, causing them to get chased by actual criminals who want the treasure for themselves. Although Stranger Things has never mentioned any treasure, it sounds similar, especially regarding a group of misfit kids who have no one to turn to but each other. Lastly, we have Rim of the World. Finally, we have a Netflix movie which some could say could have been big as Stranger Things. Why? Well, it follows the formula of a band of preteen misfits out to save the world, complete with alien invasions. The protagonist of this story, Alex Gore, could very well be likened to Will Byers, while Alex's friend Gabriel is pretty much their version of Mike Wheeler. I mean, the movie even has its own version of a demo dog. While everything sounds suspicious, the film producer and writer Zach Stentz claimed he already thought of the idea of Rim of the World long before the Duffers introduced Stranger Things to the general viewing public. So, there you have it. 15 shows and movies that can hold you over until Stranger Things Season 4 finally comes back to our television sets. As we all know, it's not long now until Stranger Things Season 4 should be released, but obviously we have no idea as to how much longer they are going to be making us wait. Anyway, that wraps up the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.